Am I audible? No? Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir.
Okay. Uh, so yesterday we started with the composition of functions, right? So I hope you guys remember it. So just we'll
Yes.
have a small recap of it. Then we'll go to the inverse of a function, how to handle inverse. Okay. So what was the definition of composition of functions? So for composition of functions, how many functions do you need? You need two, right? Such that if I have two functions named as f and g, then the function f should be mapped from set A to set B. That is, the codomain of the function f should be the, when can you define this composition of function? The codomain of the function g, f should be the domain of the function.
Function G.
Correct? G is mapped from B to C. If these two are two functions, then the composition of f and g is denoted by G circle f and is represented as G circle f mapped from A to C. Or it is given as G circle f of x or G of f of x for all values of x that belongs to A. So x belongs to A. That is where the input comes from. Right? Yesterday we saw a problem where we saw a type of function called as identity functions on set A and set B. So what was it? We are not going to discuss the whole problem again, but what was the idea? So if you have a function which is mapped from real numbers except 7 by 5 to real numbers except 3 by 5, it is defined by the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 4 by 5x minus 7. And you have a function g which is mapped from real numbers minus 3 by 5 to real number minus 7 by 5. It is defined as g of x is equal to 7x plus 4 by 5x minus 3. Then if you find the composition of two functions, there are two kinds of composition which you can find. What are they? One is g circle f, which you go in the straight direction. So G circle F means you will go in the straight direction. F circle G means you will go in the reverse direction. Okay. Then if you calculate F circle G or G circle F, you will get an identity function. When you do F circle G, you get an identity function in A, and when you do G circle F, you get an identity function in B, where IA and IB are called as the identity functions of set A and set B respectively. How are they represented? So identity functions means nothing but y is equal to x. To put it in very simple terms, it's nothing but y is equal to 1x. The straight line which is passing through origin, no? If the value of slope is 1, then that kind of a function is what is called as an identity function. Y is equal to x. Why we call it as identity is because you give a particular input, you get the same output. If x is equal to 1, y is 1. X is equal to y is 2. It's a reflexive kind of a relation. Okay. So both should give you x. But the question is where does that x come from? If you do G circle f of x, you will get it as x for all values of x that belongs to B. Similarly, if you do f circle g of x, you get it as x for all values of x belongs to E. That's it. Okay. Now, is there any doubt till this point? Is there anyone who didn't understand? Who's still having a confusion with any of these points?
Sir, can I just repeat it once?
I think if you okay. Which one do you want me to repeat?
The last one, that is like g of f is equal to x and x belongs to b.
So what I'm trying to say is, you do G circle f of x, g of f of x, you will get it as x. If I take g of f of x as some y, capital Y of x, y of x is equal to x. It's an identity function, y is equal to x. Similarly, f circle g of x, if I take it as z of x, I get it as x. That is also an identity function. Okay. Now what they are trying to say is, if g circle f of x is going to give you an x, where should that x value come from? That x value belongs to which set? The x value belongs to set B. Set B is the intermediate set. Have that. Okay. Set B is in this case there is no intermediate step. There are only two sets A and B. So G circle f of x will give you an x where all those x value come from this set. F circle g of x will also give you x where all the x values are coming from this set. Actually, in order to avoid confusion, they should have used x and y. Okay, that's what they do for inverse. You will understand. But as of now, have this point in your mind. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
20 to 25 minutes you will understand. Okay. Next. So example 18 is you have to show that. See, I hope everybody is writing. I'm not able to see. I hope everybody is writing. Make sure you write. Okay. So show that if f is a function mapped from A to B and g is a function mapped from B to C are 1 to 1. Okay. They have told if this kind of a function f mapped from A to B, g mapped from B to C are 1 to 1 functions, then G circle f which is mapped from A to C is also 1 to 1. Means individually if f of x and individually if g of x are 1 to 1 functions, our work is to prove that G circle f which is mapped from A to C is also 1 to 1. Okay. For G circle f mapped from A to C to be 1 to 1. Listen to this carefully. What am I supposed to do? I need to take two elements x1 comma x2 which belong to which set? Which belong to set. Correct? Now, g of f of x1, I assume it to be g of f of x2. Okay. But what did they say? So, I am assuming g of f of x1 is equal to g of f of x2. If I solve it mathematically, what is my expected result? I need to get x1 is equal to x2. If I am able to prove that x1 is equal to x2, I can at last conclude that g circle f is a 1 to 1 function. If not, it is a many to 1 function. Okay. So, g of f of x1 is equal to g of f of x2. Then what can we say? We can conclude f of x1 is equal to f of x2 only because they mentioned g is a 1 to 1 function. G is a 1 to 1 function. Now f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Now what can you say about the values inside that f? F of x1 is equal to f of x2 will give you x1 is equal to x2 if f is a 1 to 1 function. But what is given in the question? F is also a 1 to 1 function. So what can we say? X1 is equal to x2 since f is a 1 to 1 function. There is a very, very, very important question. I suggest you all to practice it again. Is there anyone who is not clear?
Understood, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Okay, shall I proceed? Then I'll proceed with the next problem. Show that if f is a function mapped from A to B and g is a function mapped from B to C are onto, then g circle f mapped from A to C is also an onto function. They told if f is a function mapped from A to B is onto, then g is a function mapped from B to C is onto, then we need to prove that g circle f which is mapped from A to C is also an onto function. How?
Sir, we have to relate to the elements present in the set.
You have to relate the elements present in between, right? You have to
Yes,
relate
sir.
to set B. That's the logic. So let's recollect the basic. When can you say a function will be an onto function? When the codomain is equal to the range,
Yes, sir.
right? So we will directly concentrate on G circle F. So I will concentrate on G circle F, which is a function mapped from A to C. So for this to be an onto function, I need to prove that every element in the set C has a pre-image associated to set A. That is my duty, right? If I consider an arbitrary element, let's say Z, which belongs to set C, then there exists a pre-image Y of Z under G, which is given as G of Y is equal to Z. Enna solla varanga? If I say Y is equal to f of x, okay, then g of f of x can be written as g of y.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what I did? So generally y is equal to f of x is a condition for the function f to be an onto function. Now we are concentrating on which function? G circle f of x. G circle f of x is nothing but g of f of x. But in the place of f of x, I can replace it with y. I wrote it as g of y. Okay. Then g of y should be equal to z. Since g is an onto function. They told g of y is equal to z since g is an onto function. Similarly, if you take an element y that belongs to the set B, so there are three sets, A, B and C. So whenever you're talking about, thanks. Whenever you're talking about onto function, you should always come in the reverse. 1 minute. Okay, so what did we start with? We started with the element being considered in the set C. We started with the element being considered in set C. Now what we need to do is, if y is an element that belongs to set B, then what are we supposed to prove? Then there exists an element x in A where f of x is equal to y, because they told f is also an onto function. Right? Then what will happen to G circle f of x? That is also be an onto function.
Sir, how are we supposed to write this, sir?
Okay. So you have set A, set B, set C. Okay. Set A will have elements x1, x2, x3, so on. So 1, 2, 3, all those are subscripts. B will have elements y and C will have elements z. Now what is mentioned in the question given? What is given in the question?
A to Z and
F is mapped from A to B is onto. That is a statement. How will you write the statement in the mathematical form? If y is an element that belongs to set B, if y is an element that belongs to set B, then
an X element.
for every y that belongs to set B, there exists
An element
Y.
type.
a pre-image in set A such that what mathematical condition will it satisfy?
Y is equal to f of x.
Perfect. Let me call this as 1. Correct? Adhe mari, given G is also a function mapped from B to C is onto. They told it like this. So what we need to consider, if there is some element Z that belongs to the set C, then for every Z that belongs to C, there exists what?
X is a pre-image y.
In set
B.
with another.
P.
Set B such that
Y is
G
equal
of
to f.
X.
G of y is Z such that G of y is Z. Is there any doubt till this step? Is there any
That G of Y is equal to Z.
So to prove G circle f of x map from, that is G circle f map from where to where? A to C is onto. Correct? So for it to be onto, what is the condition? For all values of
Of
Z
set C,
C, for all values of Z that belongs to C, what should happen?
there should be a pre-image that's existing in
G
set
of
A.
Z,
G of Z.
G of
Equal
Y
to X.
should be equal to Z, or G of f of x should be equal to Z. இது வரைக்கும் புரியுதா?
Yes, sir.
For every value of Z that belongs to C, we need to prove that G of f of x is equal to Z. But from 2, what can I conclude? G of y is Z since y is from 2 on. Sorry. from 2 and 1. Since y is equal to f of x and g of y is equal to z. This is how you write. Since you asked me how to write, I explained it. Sharia? So I hope 1 minute. Sorry guys, there was some parallel class going on. Sorry. Shall we proceed to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
How
sir.
is it clear? Surya, you asked me clear.
Actually, sir, what should
Okay,
be the
sir.
concluding statement, sir?
I didn't understand.
What should be the concluding statement for the question?
Your voice is breaking.
No, what should be the concluding statement for the question, sir?
I think I'm not sure if it is a network issue on my side. I'm not able to hear what you're saying.
Sir,
Can you
you
just
are audible to
message
us,
me?
sir. He is also audible to us, sir, but he's not audible to
He's
you.
audible to you. I think the issue is my side.
No, sir,
Not
you are
able-
also audible to us, but he is not audible to you.
He's not audible, but then issue should be his side only. Sir,
No,
anyways,
sir,
we'll
he
do
is
one.
audible to us.
He's audible. Sorry, then put it in the chat box. Okay, till then I'm moving on to the next one. Consider functions f and g such that the composite g circle f is defined as is 1 to 1. Consider functions f and g such that the composite g circle f is defined and is 1 to 1. Okay, are f and g both necessarily 1 to 1? Need not be. Look at you can take example and then prove. So what should be concluding? Where did we read? Since for every z that belongs to C, there is a pre-image which is satisfying the condition g of y is equal to z, it is a 1-to-1 function. No, it is an onto function. The 20th one you can take example and do that. So f is a function which is 1, 2, 3, 4. They told it is 1 to 1. So when will something fail to be a 1 to 1?
When there are elements left,
If the number of elements in the second set is less than the
is
number of
not.
elements in the first set. So since they told f is 1 to 1 and g is also 1 to 1, don't take equal number of elements. Consider two sets such that the first set is
Sir,
1, 2, 3, 4. The second
it can
set
also
is
be greater, no, sir.
It can be greater. If you take equal to, there is a possibility that you will get G circle F is also 1 to 1. That is why I am saying don't do that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if f is 1, 2, 3, 4 and which is mapped to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defined as f of x is equal to x for all values of x that belongs to, for all values of x, and g is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where g of x is equal to x for all x that is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. He has taken some example. Okay, he has taken an example where G circle, what is asking? G circle F is defined and is 1 to 1. If that is a scenario, is it necessary that F and G should also be 1 to 1 is what is the question. Okay. So for G circle F to be defined, what is the important condition? If F is mapped from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, let me write and show you. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A and B. B is the codomain of the function A. Then G, how should it be defined? It should be defined from 1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3, 4.
5, 6 till some other set. He has taken the other set also to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they told G circle f of x is 1 to 1. Correct? So for G circle f of x to be 1 to 1, so tell me what is G circle f of x. If I take like this, f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 2, f of 3 is 3, and f of 4 is 4. I am taking it like this, okay. And g of 1 I am calling it as 1, g of 2 I am calling it as 2, g of 3 I am calling it as 3, g of 4 I am calling it as 4, and g of 5 I am calling it as 5, and g of 6 also if I call it as 5. Will I still be able to define G circle F? Now what is G of f of x? Tell me. G of f of 1 is G of 1 is 1. What is G of f of 2?
2, sir. And
2.
it goes
G of
until like for
3,
till 4.
G of f
Goes
of
until 4.
so G of f of 5 is 5. G of f of 5, if I take it as 5, and G of f of 6 is nothing but okay, this is what is happening, right? So, and G of 5, then G circle f of x is equal to x.
So I have a doubt.
And G of
Sir, G circle F is
I'll
not
do
1
one
to 1, no, sir. It's many to 1, no, sir.
many to one because I have considered it like that. No, I'll make it like this.
In the
Because
question, it's 1 to 1, no, sir.
did they give anything about f of 5?
F of 5 does not exist, right, sir?
F of 5 is not defined, Lada. They didn't say anything about it. That's what I'm thinking. So in the solution they considered, see, this is a trial and error method based problem, you know. They're saying G circle F is defined, but is it necessary that G should also be 1 to 1? That is the question. Okay, so G of 5 is equal to G of 6 is equal to, they took it as 5. They're trying to say that this kind of a possibility is also there. That's what. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. F of 1 is 1, F of 2 is 2, F of 3 is 3, F of 4 is 4. So 5 and 6 are the elements which are not exhausted. They do not have any pre-images, right? In the set A. But I can define a function g such that g of 1 is 1, g of 2 is 2, g of 3 is 3, g of 4 is 4. But there is no rule that is imposed on 5 and 6. But still have G circle F to be defined. That is why what they told is, I can take G of 5 as 5 and G of 6 also as 5. It is not necessary that it needs to be 1 to 1. It could have been G of 5 as 5 and G of 6 as 6, depending on what is the nature of the function. But here, there is a possibility that G of 5 and G of 6 can be 6 also. That is what they are trying to say. So that is the reason why it is not it need not be a 1 to 1 function.
So I have a doubt.
Tell me.
So, but to get g of 5, we need g of f of 5, and f of 5 does not exist, right?
G of, that's what, it's not defined. No? If you take
How
G
can
of
we
5
get-
separate function,
We take it
See, what-
separately.
what is given? What, you go back to the definition, no? But actually, there is a mistake. What you asked is right. Because see, for me to define, they told the composition of the function is defined. For me to define a function f from a to b, and I need to define another function g from b to c, if these are two functions, then the composition of the functions g circle f is defined, a to c is defined. For all
So
values
it-
of x that belongs to a.
Sir, for all values of b, if it's related to a only, we can go for c function, no, sir.
Example
For
they
all
have taken
values.
the example they have taken is wrong. I'll do one thing. I'll think about this and I'll give you a better example. Okay. Let's not waste time on this. I'll think and I'll come back
Okay,
on
sir.
this before next class. Just remind me about this. Okay. Let's not waste time on this. There's trial and error. There's also trial and error. Let's go to a bigger one. Okay. Let's look at example 22. Okay. There is a remark. I think we have to do the 21st. Let's see. So are f and g both necessarily onto if g circle f is onto? So as of now, have this point in your mind. If g circle f is a one-to-one function, it is not necessary that both should be one-to-one functions. Similarly, if g circle f is onto function, it is not necessary that both are supposed to be onto functions. Okay, have this point in your mind. It can be verified in general that G circle F is 1 to 1 implies that F is 1 to 1. Similarly, G circle F is onto implies G is onto. Okay, have this point in your mind.
Sir, but instead of saying not necessarily, they just said that it's not onto, sir. So in that case,
It is not onto, F is not onto, but G is onto. That's what they say.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Other children, you hold these examples. No, I'll come with better examples. I'll think and we'll come back.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's look at the example 22. Let f be a function which is mapped from 1 to 3 to abc, be 1 to 1 and onto function given by f of 1 is a, f of 2 is b, f of 3 is c. Show that there exists a function g mapped from abc to 1 to 3. That is exactly the reverse order such that g circle f is equal to I of x and f circle g is equal to y is equal
Sir.
to abc.
Okay.
Okay, how to prove?
Sir,
They're given
this
all the values,
reverse
just
function.
substitute and find. No? Find what is G circle F. So you will find G of F of 1, you will find G of F of 2, you will find G of F of 3. What is G of F of 1?
Sir, 1, 2, 3 it will come, sir.
G of A, G of B, G of C. G of A is given at
Yes, sir. G of A is 1, G of A. Oh, it's
Correct.
not given, sir, but
G of A is 1, G of B is 2, G of C is 3. Again, they took an example. They told it is one-to-one and onto. See, this function f is mentioned as one-to-one and onto function given by f of 1 is equal to a, f of 2 is b, f of 3 is c. If it is a one-to-one and onto function, then what should happen?
The number
If
of
f of
elements
1
should
is
be
mapped to
equal.
a, it should not be mapped to any other element. F of no other element should be mapped to same a. F of 2 is b, f of 3 is c. So what will happen to g of a? Then
It will
they
map to 1.
it is mapped. It can be mapped to 1, 2, or 3. Anything can happen. For simplicity, they took it as 1, so that it will be easy to verify. Okay. So if you consider G, which is an element mapped from ABC to 1 to 3, then as G of A is 1, G of B is 2, and G of C is 3, it is easy to verify that the composite G circle F is equal to I of X is the identity function on X, and the composite F circle G is equal to I of Y is the identity function on Y. Now find out what is F circle G.
It will be A, B, C, sir.
ABC, sir.
ABC. So ABC come from where? They come from
Sir,
the set Y.
but in G function it comes from X, no, sir.
Identity of X in another. Identity of X for all values of X that belongs to set A.
Okay, sir.
Identity of Y na, it is the elements that of Y that belongs to the codomain set. That is the meaning. Set B.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is the meaning. So having all these points in mind, let's look at the definition of what is an inverse of a function. So have this in your mind, okay? So if f is a function mapped from x to y, is defined to be invertible. Under what scenario? Is defined to be invertible if there exists another function g which is mapped from y to x. Means the domain and the codomain are swapped such that g circle f should be I of x and f circle g should be I of y. Then the function g will be called as the inverse of f and is represented as f inverse. Okay. So an important point to be noted, if f is supposed to be invertible, then f must be one-to-one function and onto function. And conversely, if f is one-to-one and onto, then f must be invertible. Both are true. It can be an assertion reason question. Okay, I'm repeating it. If f is a function that has to be invertible, then it must be a one-to-one function and an onto function. Similarly, if you say if f is one-to-one and onto, then definitely there will be an inverse existing for it. Okay, so have this point in your mind. With this, I will show how to calculate the inverse of a function. I will take the example and then I will show it. So let f be a function mapped from natural number set to some set y and is given by the and is defined as f of x is equal to 4x plus 3, where set capital Y is what? Y that belongs capital Y is equal to 4x plus 3, where y belongs to natural number set for some values of x that belongs to natural number set. Show that f is invertible, find the inverse. Okay, listen to this carefully. So did you guys understand the question? One thing. So wherever they say you show that f is invertible, what are we supposed to do? What
It
are
must
the
be on-to and one-to-one.
one-to-one and one-to can be inverse. Like see, one-to and on-to will say that the function will have inverse. But there is a definition to prove that the function is invertible. What does the definition say? If f is a
Sir,
function is invertible,
then the next function should be mapped from y to x.
it should be mapped from y to x. That is one thing. What we need to prove is, we need to prove that there exists some other function g which is mapped from y to x such that what condition is it supposed to satisfy? If you take the composition of g with f and if you take the composition of f with g, they both should give you identity functions. So this will give you an identity function in x and this should give you an identity function in y, and this is the necessary proof that we need to write to show that they are invertible. It is not like proving that they are one-to-one and onto.
So proving them as 1, 2 and an onto is not enough, sir.
Because we have to go with the definition. We have to prove that when you do the composition of function, you get an identity function. It isn't there invertible.
Okay.
Okay. So here in this question, f is a function mapped from natural number to some set y. How is the set y defined? Y is given as 4x plus 3. And in this 4x plus 3, what is the value of x that you can substitute? You can substitute any natural number. When you substitute a natural number, then what will y get generated as?
Natural number.
That will also get generated as natural number. But the only difference between the natural number set n and y, what is it? In the
It
natural
will be
number
greater than. It will be greater than
in the
7.
natural number set, you will find the number starting with 1, 2 till wherever it goes. But in the set y, you will find only numbers which are output of that 4x plus 3. So when you start with x is equal to 1, what will be in the set y?
7.
7.
So when you put n as 2, x as 2,
11, sir.
11. So 7, 11, these are all the elements that are going to exist in 7.
Set
I
y.
think that will be the elements existing in set y. But though these 7, 11, 15 also belong to the natural number set. That is what they are trying to say. So if this is how a function is defined from where n to y, then I need to prove there exists a reverse function g, which is mapped from where to where.
Y
Then
to n.
there is a reverse function which is mapped from y to n, such that if I do g circle f, then what should I get?
Inverse
I
of x.
get an identity function in x, where that x comes from which set? From the natural
Number set.
Natural number set. Similarly, if I do f circle g, it should give me iy, where that y comes from
That
the
y set.
y set. Prida. So the steps to be followed are like this. So you will consider an arbitrary element y that belongs to capital Y. The reason why we are starting in the reverse is because inverse functions, domain and codomain will be swapped. Okay, that is the reason why we start in reverse. Consider an arbitrary element y of y. By the definition of capital Y, y is equal to 4x plus 3 for some value of x in the domain. Okay. So what you are saying is steps. Let y be an element that belongs to the set capital Y. Then y is equal to 4x plus 3 for
And x is an element from natural number set.
some value of x that belongs to natural. I can put for x belongs to natural numbers. Correct? I hope you are able to understand till this point.
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubt? Okay. Now what we are supposed to do is, inverse is like this. See, if I call this set as x and this set as y, if I write the output, so if I write a function f, how do you write it? Output element is equal to a function of input element. That y is equal to f of x. Then
Yes, sir.
how g will be? So g will be a function in terms of y such that it
G
will
of
be an
y
output.
is equal to g of f of x.
X will be equal to g of y. Inverse quadrant. Here g is not either. G is an inverse function. It is not like three sets are there. Don't get confused. That it's not like g circle f of x. Here
Okay,
set A and set B, they are only there. They are getting swapped among themselves. So y is equal to 4x plus 3. Then you need to write x is equal to what? Y minus 3 divided by 4. So what you have done is you have written x in terms of some y. Let me call this as g of y.
Sir, this is the same thing that we do for f of x also, no, sir. Y is equal to f of x, then writing x in terms of y.
Writing x in terms of y. That's what I did. No? This is what you did for on.
That is what we did for onto, no, sir. Then how is it different?
It's the same. It's not about different. In onto function, you didn't find the composite, no. In onto function, you wrote g of y, and then you checked by giving the input values of y and found whether the pre-images are existing or not.
Okay.
Here, after doing it, after you prove that it is going to exist, then you will do g of f of x. Then you will get I of x. Okay, it is the same story again and again. Right? You're doing the same. What you asked is right. You're doing the same thing again, but you're representing it in a different way. Okay.
வரும்போது டென்னிஸ் பால் பாயிண்ட் பாருங்க. ஓகே,
Sorry. Then G will be a function mapped from y to n. I am calling it like this. See, this shows that x is equal to y minus 3 divided by 4. Then, so I'll call this as g of y such that g is a function mapped in the reverse order, y to n, given by g of y is equal to what? So, if I call, say for example, what they are saying is, if I call this as g of y is equal to y minus 3 divided by 4. Are you able to understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Now what you need to do is, you need to check the domain and the range. So when you give the input, when you give the value of y as a natural number, are you getting a natural number is what you need to check. So what does the set y contain?
Natural numbers.
Set y contains 7, 11,
The
15.
output of
It contains, so when you substitute 11, you do this checking. When you substitute 7, are you going to get back the element in the reverse order?
no, sir.
No,
So you're
sir.
going to get no 7 minus 3 by
Will be
4.
1.
Because, hey, there one only generated 7, no. You gave
Then
the
we'll
input.
get 8 by 4. Okay, 2.
You will get one only. It will work because this function has an inverse. It's a one-to-one and onto function. So g of y is equal to y minus 3 divided by 4. Okay. Then what you need to do is, then you need to find g of f of x. Correct? So g of y is equal to y minus 3 by 4. Then what is g circle f of x? It is g of, in the place of f of x, you will write it as y. Right?
Yes, sir.
So g of, this will be equal to, so this will be equal to what? In the place of y, you are going to replace it with f of x. So what is the value of y now? Is it not 4x plus 3?
Yes, sir.
So you will write 4x plus 3 minus 3 the whole divided by 4. How much are you going to get? 4x plus 0 divided by 4. The answer will come out as x. So g of f of x is going to give you x, that is I of x. Hence it is a inverse function. Similarly, if you do f of g of x, what are you supposed to get?
Y.
Y. So we know that f of x is equal to 4x plus 3. 4 into g of x plus 3 will be how much? 4 into, what is the value of g of x?
Y.
G of y is y minus 3 by 4. Now g of x na? X minus 3 by 4 plus 3. This and this will get cancelled. 4 and 4 will get cancelled. X minus 3 plus 3, that will give you x.
Sir, we're supposed to get Y, sir.
This is I of y. Okay, then what we should have done is, you should have considered f of g of y, because g is considered as y. Okay, so f of x is 4x plus 3. G of y will be how much? Y minus 3 by 4, y, and here y. This is I of y. Okay, well.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So this is what is supposed to happen. See, first problem I understand it will be slightly tough. I will give you the steps, don't worry. We will follow the same steps to get the answer. So this is how you prove that the given functions are invertible.
Yes, I understood.
Okay. Please make a note of it. Shall we move on to the next one? Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Listen. Example 24, what does it say? Y is equal to n square, okay, where n belongs to natural number. So set y will be how will it be? Let's try to write it in the roster form so that we get clarity. We'll have 1, 4, 9, 16, it keeps on going like this. Okay, this is a subset. This is a subset of natural number. Accepted. Because 1, 4, 9, 16, everything is a subset
Yes,
of
sir.
natural number. So if I define a function f from which set to which set, natural number set to y set, means if I give the input as a natural set, natural number, y will come out as the square of the natural number. And how is the function defined? F of n is equal to n square. We have to show that f is invertible. We have to show that f is invertible. Once you find it is invertible, we need to find the inverse of f. Okay. So what are the steps to be followed, guys?
We have to
The
find
same
G
thing.
circle F.
You have to start with the output element. So set x, set y. You have to start by considering an element from the output set. Let y belong to y be an arbitrary element. In which form? In the form. So how will the numbers here be? N1 square, N2 square, N3 square. It will be in the form of n square, no? The form
Yes, sir.
n square for the value of n that belongs to capital N. Okay.
Sir,
So
okay.
if I call the random variable y to be n square, then n will be how much? Plus or minus
Root
2.
Y.
But I cannot write plus or minus y.
Because only natural numbers are taken.
Natural.
Natural numbers. So it is going to be root y. Then what are we supposed to do? So n is equal to root y. So this root y, I will call it as some other function. I will call this as g of y such that g is a function from where to where? Capital Y to n. Will this work? Will this work? F is a function map from n to y. G is a function map from capital Y to n. Means if I give the value of y as, what should I give the value of y? What are all the values of I? If I give the value of y as 1, will there be a pre-image existing?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
If I give it as, what should be the next input I need to give for y? Can I give 2?
No, sir.
no,
4.
sir, it should be
I
4.
can give 4. If I give 4, I will get 2, which is an element mapped in the natural number set. So you will have the inverse. You will have the reverse mapping also taking place. So g of y is equal to root y. So what are we supposed to prove? G circle f of x is equal to ix, and f circle g of y is I will know. Okay. Here in this question you don't have ix, rather you have in, because the set x is natural number set. So g of f of, instead of x I'm using n. So what is g of f of n, guys? So g of y is root y down. So it is square root of f of n. Square root of f of n is what? Square root of, what is f of n? It is n square. Square root of n square is n. So this is I of n. Now, what is f of g of y? F of g of y is root y. But what is f of n? N square. So it is root y whole square. Root y the whole square will give you 1. This is nothing but iy. So g circle f of n gave you in, and f circle g of n gave you iy. Hence, it is an invertible function. So what if
We have to
f
find
is an
inverse.
invertible function?
Then
Then
again, 1, 2, and on.
f inverse is g. Okay. So whatever you are getting as g of y is what? Root y, no. Okay. Then g of x will be how much? Root x. This is what is f inverse of x. Sorry. G of n. This is what is f inverse. So this is the inverse function of f. Is there anyone having a doubt? So you practice few problems, you'll get it.
No, sir.
Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's do the next one. So this is a good problem and an important one. Now you guys are going to tell me the step. So there is a function which is mapped from natural number set to a real number set, defined by the function f of x is equal to 4x square plus 12x plus 15. Show that f map from n to s, where s is the range of f is invertible. Find the inverse of f. This is a good one and an important one. So what they are trying to say is, f is mapped from n to r will not be a one-to-one and onto. It will not be a one-to-one and onto function. Okay. So what you need to do is, on the codomain, you need to create a restriction so that it becomes the range. And that restriction is, from real number, you need to choose only the elements from set S, okay, which satisfy certain condition. Only then this function will be invertible. If it is invertible, find the inverse of f. So how are we going to do? Okay, same thing. Set x, set y. Okay. Again, you have to start with the element y being an arbitrary element, but not from the codomain, rather it will be from the range of f. So how to find the range of f? Okay, so that's what I'm going to teach you. Now listen. Finding range of a function. So how to find the range of a function? Okay. Step 1. Write y is equal to f of x. So y is equal to 4x square plus 12x plus 15. Step 2. Solve the equation and write x in terms of y. These things are not there in textbook. Please make a note. So what am I supposed to do?
So the quadratic equation.
4x square plus 12x plus 15 minus y will become equal to 0. So I'll get a quadratic equation. What is the quadratic equation? X is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4 into a into c the whole divided by 2a minus 12 plus or minus root of 144 minus 16 into 15. How much is it? 16 into 15 plus 16y, the whole divided by 8. So no need to find that. Minus 12 plus or minus. If I take out 16 common, I will have square root of 16 into 16, 8 minus 15
plus y.
The whole divided by 8. 16 if I take out, it will come out as 4. 12, 4 and 8. So you will get it as minus 3 plus or minus
4.
2 root here. 2 root
16
of
only, sir.
y minus 7, no? 16 9 right? Y minus 6, the whole divided by. Any doubt till this step? This is the value of x. X is equal to minus
Sir,
3.
how did 2 come outside, sir?
Oh, 2 illiyanga. So minus 3 plus or minus root of y minus 6. Now it's right, huh?
No, sir. From the root only we took something out, no, sir.
16 we took out. Square root of 16 is 4.
4. Oh, we
Minus
have
12,
cut
4
4
and 8
out.
I can say, yeah. So y minus 6. Right?
4 root y minus x, right, sir?
Okay.
Sir, 4 root y minus 6 only should come, no, sir.
Why the 4 root y? Adanda 4 vandha then I'll cancel 12, 4 and 8.
Oh, okay, sir. Understood. We are dividing by 4, right, sir?
Yeah, 12, 4, 8 I cancel. So step number 3 is find the values of x, values of y for which x is defined. Then the values of y will be the range of f of x. Okay, means what are the function they gave actually? F is a function mapped from natural number to real number. Okay, this is x, this is y. So what I'm trying to say is, when you substitute y as any real number, will x come out as a natural number? Is a question. N to R only, right?
Yes, sir.
So first, find out what are all the values of y that you can substitute. What are the least value of y that you can substitute so that x will at least exist? If I substitute the real number as minus 3, if I substitute
No,
y
sir.
as, it will not exist because square root of negative value, you will get a
1 we can, we have to substitute from 7.
the least number you can substitute is 6.
7.
6.
Sir, root 0. Okay, sir, okay.
So the value of y that you can least substitute is 0. So that is what they have given. That is the reason why they told y is greater than or equal to 6. So they did it using completing the square method. So this is also right only. So x is equal to y minus 6. It is plus or minus 3, no? So I have plus or minus, no. So what should I write? X should be written as square root of y minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The least values y is greater than or equal to 6. Is there any doubt in this step? So in this problem, the toughest part is, what is the toughest part?
Finding the range.
Because they didn't give it. So y should be greater than or equal to 6. Now we can define the reverse function g. Now you found something in terms of f of y, no? This is what we can call it as g of y. X is what is g of y. So I'll call this as g of y. Let us define g as a function which is mapped from S to n, given by g of y is equal to y minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. Y minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. Okay, I'm calling this as g of y. Then what can you say? If you find g of f of x, what are you going to get? Can you find out and tell me? So what I'm trying to say is this I'll call it as g of x, sorry, g of y. y minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2, I will call it as g of y, such that g is a function mapped from where to where? That so-called
S to
set
n.
S to the natural number.
Sir, the S
Okay.
set is
S set is y greater than or equal to 6.
okay, sir.
So it is like this, 6 to infinity.
Okay, sir.
That is the meaning. So I am finding g of f of x. So what is g of f of x? Square root of f of x minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. But what is f of 6 now? 4x square, can you read that out? 4x square plus
12x plus 15.
4x square plus 12x plus 15 minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. So how much will you get? Square root of 4x square plus 12x plus 9 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. So what is the answer, guys? Square root of 4x square plus 12x plus 6 the whole divided by 2. But what are we supposed to get? We are supposed to get an x.
So
What
we
is
get
this?
2 plus 2x plus 3 the whole square.
Is it 2x plus 3 the whole square?
Yes, sir.
By 2 under the root. But
So
this is
2x plus.
but you should get an x, no? What mistake?
We'll get x, sir. The minus 3 will be outside the root.
Sorry. This will be minus 3, 2x plus 3, minus 3, 3 and 3 are gone, it will be x. So there is nothing but I of x.
And that equation should be 4x square plus 12x plus 9, sir. Yes, sir, that one. 4x square plus 12x plus 9 minus 3.
Oh, here you are saying, no?
Yes, sir.
Plus 9 minus 3. Yeah. Now what is f of g of eta?
Sir, that quadratic equation we have to
4
substitute.
into g of y square plus
12 g of y
12 into g of y plus
plus
9 plus 15.
15.
4 into what is g of y?
Y minus.
Root of, in textbook they did it in 2 steps, okay? You have to do all these things in the exam. Y minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2 the whole square plus 12 into root of y minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2 plus 15. Okay, 4 into y minus 6 plus 9 minus 6 into root of y minus 6 the whole divided by 4 plus 12 into
6 into
6 into root of y minus 6 minus 18 plus 15. 4 and 4 are gone. 6 root of y minus 6, 6 root of y minus 6 gone. 9 minus 6 is 3, minus 18 plus 15 is minus 3. So the answer is y. So f of g of y is I of y. So what
Okay,
is the
sir.
inverse?
I have a
F of
doubt. I can
minus
understand.
1 minute. Inverse is root of y minus 6 minus 3 divided by 2 is there, no? This is g of y. So g of x will be the inverse of x, that will be root of x minus 6 minus 3 the whole divided by 2. Yeah, Rohan, you asked, what is the doubt?
It just works, sir.
Tell me.
I didn't get that 12 into root y minus 6 minus 3 by 2. I didn't understand.
Here,
Yes, sir. There.
g of y, I wrote the root of y minus 6 divided by 3. 2 and this will get cancelled, no? 2 and 12 will get cancelled. Question itself is 12 into g of y, right?
Yes, sir. The calculation I didn't understand. How?
You made a mistake, huh?
I think so, sir.
Check it once, no? Okay, so what is the moral of the story? It is like, if you have to find or prove that it is invertible, it is not enough if we prove that it is 1 to 1 and on to. Rather, what are we supposed to do? You need to consider an arbitrary element. What are the steps, sir? From this, can we conclude? Steps to prove a given function is invertible. What are the steps to be proved? Steps to be followed? First, consider, say, function. If f is a function mapped from A to B, then consider what? Y that belongs to set D. Then find
Find the range.
x in terms of y. Okay. Expression obtained in step 1 should be named as
G of y.
g of y for all values g that is mapped from B to
B to
A.
A.
We need to verify whether B to A is also valid there. If not, it will not be an invertible function. After this, what will you do? Find G circle f of x, and if it comes out to be Ix, and f circle g of y. If G circle f of x comes out to be Ix, and f circle g of y comes out to be Iy, then it is
Invertible.
invertible. Got it? I hope everyone is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you can try out few more problems and then let me know. Okay, what you can do is you take this exercise as homework, try out few problems. Next class we will complete it. So actually, with this the chapter is over. Trust me, exercise problems are simpler. They are not that tough. You guys can try it. If there is any doubt, you can reach out to me. Sharia?
Okay, sir.
So that's it. So that's it for today. Binary operations are not there, okay? Then after 2 classes, we'll start inverse trigonometry.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's end this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.